After just hitting a brand new all-time high over $124,000, Bitcoin has been retracing, or some people are going to say crashing this morning. ETH and other altcoins are crashing alongside of it. Why is that? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you there's actually 4 reasons why crypto prices are pulling back, but I'm also going to explain to you why you should not be freaking out right now. Make sure to watch all the way until the end of the video. And if you do find it helpful, there's 2 things I'm going to ask you to do. Number 1, as always, smash that like button because it really does help us here in the YouTube algorithm. But also make sure you're subscribed to the channel where you get day-to-day access to information in the crypto markets here on the Tim Warren channel. Please subscribe after the video is over. But with that said, let's jump into the 4 big reasons crypto prices are crashing this morning. Now, I'm going to cover reasons number 1 and 2 together because this morning we got hit with some pretty bad economic data if you're looking for rate cuts in September. The PPI numbers this morning came in hot. On the monthly, it came in at 0.9%, even though the expected was only 0.2%. To make things worse, if you go to the yearly, it was a 3.3% jump when the expectation was only 2.5%. What this implies is that certain levels of inflation are starting to increase once again. The double whammy, however, is that the unemployment numbers didn't seem to be as bad. Jobless claims cooled off, coming in at 224,000, even though expectations had us closer to 225,000, and that makes us lower than last month's print at 227,000. In case you're new to the channel and new to what we're talking about when it comes to Fed rate cuts and a boom that would come for altcoins, ultimately the Fed will cut rates if inflation is under control and if unemployment looks like it potentially could begin to skyrocket. But when unemployment drops and inflation increases, this actually is a sign that a pause or potential even rate hikes could be on the table. With that said, I do not want to freak you out because I don't think that that is going to happen. This was just one bad inflation print and one good unemployment print, days after we had good inflation numbers with bad employment. CME predictors are still saying there's more than a 92% chance that we get a 25 basis point cut in September. So while you shouldn't be freaking out, these first 2 reasons, high inflation and low unemployment, are the reasons why the markets did temporarily freak out this morning around 8:30. However, as we get into reason number 3, some other things happened later this morning that also made the markets a little bit scared and sell off. Secretary Scott Bessent was on Fox News this morning where he was talking about the Bitcoin reserve. And while he speaks very favorably about Bitcoin overall and is talking about the stockpile of the United States government, one of the lines he used in his interview was that we will not be buying that, talking about Bitcoin. Now, some people read this as a very negative sign. We thought that the Trump administration and Bessent were really big on Bitcoin. Even in the video, he talks about how valuable Bitcoin will be for individuals down the road. But it implies with that one little quote that the United States government has no plans of purchasing Bitcoin. However, I think if you use a logical mind, you actually could interpret this as not buying it right now. The other thing is that Donald Trump and his staff is known for not letting people know exactly what their next move is. If the US government was about to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, why would they tell people about that? The much smarter move would be to buy Bitcoin after a dip and not warn anybody of those purchases coming. No, I'm not promising that they're about to buy a bunch of Bitcoin. I think that happens down the road. We have some major things to worry about here in the United States as our national debt just got over $37 trillion. But don't be so hasty this morning to think that the door is closed on the US government purchasing Bitcoin down the road. The good news on the interview, though, was he was very clear the United States government will not be selling any Bitcoin that is confiscated, and that's going to keep coming in as the years go on and criminals use Bitcoin. Now, before I move on to reason number 4 that Bitcoin and crypto prices were crashing this morning, I want to make sure you're clear on something. If you don't want to have to wait for the videos to come out every single day, make sure you're following us over on X. Every single day, my team and I are posting live news as it is coming out to keep you up to date on what is important in your crypto portfolio. So make sure if you're over on X right now, you're following at Tim Warren Trades to make sure you're up to date on all news. Now, for the 4th and final reason why crypto prices are crashing this morning, it's time to go over to the charts and check out what it is saying at this point in time. Now, as I said earlier, last night, Bitcoin eclipsed the former all-time high, getting as high as $124,500 before taking a little bit of a spill this morning, all the way back down below 118,000. Depending on what time you're watching this video, Bitcoin's price could be doing a lot of things. It could be higher, it could be lower, but right now, Bitcoin is hovering around 118,000. Ethereum got within striking distance last night of its former all-time high, reaching a $4,800 price action before falling this morning all the way back down towards $4,400. Some other coins of note, Cardano reached over $1 last night before falling below to 88 cents once again. In a nutshell though, why are the crypto prices crashing? Well, that comes in when we start to turn on some weekly indicators that we actually talked about just yesterday in our Tim Warren live show on Wednesday afternoon. When you turn on the Lux Algo signals and overlays, you're going to find several cryptocurrencies were running into some resistance on their weekly chart. Ethereum testing the resistance cloud right here as it rivals new all-time highs. Other coins like Solana and Chainlink and Uniswap and AERO were testing the weekly resistance levels called smart trails. While this is not the end of the rally for these altcoins, this was a very easy position to take some profits from whales. You had the bad numbers coming from the economic data. You had Bessent claiming that the United States government is not buying Bitcoin, and you're running into resistance. These are all reasons why people comfortably took some profit. The good news, however, is if you look at certain altcoins on the list right now, lower timeframes like the hour are already starting to print some oversold signals. So we should be expecting some volatility at least the rest of the day. Longer term, I would be keeping my eyes on the 6-hour and 8-hour timeframes where we do start to see some sell signals developing across the crypto platform. The targets we should be watching are the 8-hour and 6-hour smart trails. Chainlink, for example, has signals as low as 21.22 that could be hit. If you want to see more technical analysis and learn how to trade these altcoins, make sure to check out the VIP trading group in the link down below, where every single day we have pro traders covering the charts, doing live trading shows, not only to show you the TA, but also to help set up some proper buying and selling positions based off the support and resistance levels. Even though crypto prices are down right now, and even though people are beginning to freak out, I want to prepare you guys that in bull markets, volatility happens. You do not get explosive moves to the upside without the occasional correction as well. And while this morning's correction was quite fast, making many people say the word crash in the crypto market, the reality is this was a healthy pullback and a healthy correction that is utilized by crypto whales to take profits and buy dips to make more money throughout the bull market. But before I let you go, I want to give you some comfort and give you two big reasons not to be ditching your positions and ride out the volatility of this chaos. The first chart is coming in on the Bitcoin Dominance Chart, where even though we had some pullbacks, Bitcoin dominance has continued to plummet here, reaching the lowest level we have seen since all the way back in February of 2025. What this is telling me right now is that it is a clean sweep across the board. Yes, Bitcoin was the coin hitting new all-time highs last night, but altcoins are not feeling the same pain that Bitcoin is. And for that reason, altcoin season, while it's taking a short little break, looks very much intact, with Bitcoin dominance still heading down towards 58%. The other sign to give you some encouragement is that Bitcoin and crypto is still following the patterns of a 90-day delay behind the global M2 money supply. This has been a signal, this blue line, that has been ridiculously consistent for years now and has been an amazing tool to utilize to know when to buy and when to sell. Well, at this point, if you believe in the M2 money supply, it is still suggesting that we have a long way up throughout the rest of August and September before we even consider the next local top. Listen, anything is possible in the crypto markets. If there's one thing I can promise you is that chaos is always waiting behind the next door. But even though we have a pullback happening today, this pullback, in my opinion, is once again an opportunity. If you missed out on some great price action the last couple of days, this is your opportunity to rectify that problem and buy some crypto lower than where it was just last night. If you guys enjoyed this video and if it was helpful to you, remember there's two things you got to do: smash that like and hit subscribe. And if you want to go deeper, once again, please check out that VIP trading group right now to learn how to do this trading and technical analysis for yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.